Hey there, you're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I am here with more Lost Horizon. We are playing Fenton Paddock, who is in Morocco, Marrakesh to be exact, and this is Fenton up here. And we have an important duty. We need to free Professor Hayes from jail. Yep, he's in the pokey. And I think we've come close to completing that. We've finally collected the bail money through some underhanded means. Let's head back in and see if we can get the professor free. Here we stand before the police headquarters of Marrakesh. Let's head on in. There's the gendarme. Here's
That's
our
225
money.
francs in small, unsorted notes.
Can't have those notes sorted. Gotta be unsorted. Looks less fishy that way. Let's throw his filthy lucre right in his face.
Listen,
Oui?
I've got Professor Hayes' bail money.
All of it?
Yes, 200 francs.
Very well. Then Monsieur Hayes is free to go. Come on, Hayes. You've made bail. Au revoir.
Mom,
Are you
is that
okay?
you?
Yes, thank you. Let's go. We have a lot to discuss.
I'll bet you do.
I'm terribly sorry for our less than civil surroundings. As long as dear Monsieur Lacoste is at my shop, it's a far from suitable venue for discreet conversation. At any rate, please make yourself comfortable. This tale is not a short one, but I'm certain it will be an interesting one.
That may be, Professor. Just bear in mind it's a long time since my last lecture. I need to find my friend. End of story.
I'm well aware of that, but if you ever hope to find your friend, you will need to know what you are searching for, and what may await you at the end of that search.
It's a new approach to me, but I suppose it couldn't hurt.
My academic research focused primarily on Tibet. I've been fascinated with its religion, its secrets, and its legends ever since I was a young man. I became something of an expert. I held a professorship, and sometimes I even received funding to lead expeditions. The last of these expeditions was with your friend, Yen Wang. As you know, we found a dead monk, pieces of a map, and a gemstone.
The Eye of the Dragon.
Exactly. The remains of the map held clues to a mythologized monastery in the Kembalung Valley. This hidden valley was said to contain the entrance to the legendary Shambhala. At that time, however, I only knew that the Buddhists believed Shambhala to be a kingdom where a dynasty of enlightened kings safeguard the most secret teachings of Buddhism. Of course, I always assumed that Shambhala was a religious myth, but the idea that this place could really exist, it was an exciting prospect. The chance for a truly sensational discovery. Unfortunately, the early onset of winter upset our plans, and we had to give up. I was never able to return to that search. Regardless, I compiled all the knowledge that existed on Shambhala. I studied all the available sources, retranslated old texts. The result was a picture of a mysterious place of indescribable power.
Can you describe it?
An ancient place. And it's not just important to Buddhism. Other religions and cultures also have ties to this location. There, my friend, is where all questions and answers have their origin. So that I may perceive whatever holds the world together in its inmost folds.
I'm not a big one for riddles, Professor. Could you be a little more concrete? I don't need enlightening, I just need my friend's whereabouts.
You may yet find both.
When do we get around to how?
How? By finding Shambhala, of course.
I'm not supposed to understand any of this, am I?
You want me to be concrete? Here's a very concrete story. It is the result of many years of research. About 10,000 years ago, a tribe of hunters and herdsmen discovered a colossal system of caves in the Himalayas. While they were there, their intellectual capacities suddenly grew exponentially. The technical advancements that resulted from this growth allowed them to settle in the caves. The people knew that this must be a very special place. At its center, they could feel a strong energy that seemed to be responsible for their rapid development. For these people, this energy proved to be a gift from the gods. They used this gift to build gigantic underground temple complexes. Within a few generations, a prosperous culture was flourishing. Science, art, and architecture were at a level far beyond what we know today. The people developed both a complex language and the first complete writing system. The energy itself, in combination with the rapid tempo of medical advancement, allowed the people to live to an extremely old age. Illness practically ceased to exist.
And these caves are supposed to be Shambhala.
Yes, I am thoroughly convinced that this is the case. However, you can certainly call it something else if you prefer a different name.
I don't know. Even without the dragon, it all still sounds like a fairy tale.
Well, the dragon... I personally believe that the dragon is merely a symbol, because the story continues.
Go on, then.
Something must have happened, because Shambhala was abandoned. I don't know the exact reason why, but what could have caused the people to leave this wonderful place, apart from a true catastrophe?
You mean they got attacked by dragons?
In a way. The dragon seems to be a metaphor for this sudden catastrophe. I can only speculate on the exact nature of this event. However, I believe it has some connection to the energy of the place.
Okay, so they abandoned Shambhala, but why is the entrance still locked up?
Only a few people survived the catastrophe, and they certainly had good reasons for keeping their knowledge of Shambhala a secret. They trained a sworn caste of priests who passed on this knowledge from generation to generation, and who continue to do so today.
Actually, I think the Nazis killed them all.
But there would be more. The caste of priests established 2 monasteries, far from any other settlements, in which to safeguard the secret. The first monastery was built directly over the only entrance to Shambhala.
In the Kembalung Valley?
Most of the priests stayed in this valley, along with one of the 2 artifacts that can open the entrance.
So you really believe that this secret chamber somehow leads to Shambhala? But that would mean that Richard is already...
Indeed.
But if he's there, can he still be alive? I mean, the dragon metaphor thing.
There's only one way to find out.
We need the second artifact, which is in the other monastery, right?
We can only assume so. The second group of priests hiked over the peaks of the Himalayas, the so-called Lost Horizon, until they reached the region that is part of India today. They hid the other key there, in a temple complex. Unfortunately, I never found out exactly where this temple complex is located.
But we have the Eye of the Dragon, and the engravings in the monastery say it'll reveal the location of the second key.
Only if we have the Keeper's map. And, alas, this is something I've long searched for. The only clues I've found refer to a remarkable map drawn up in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral named Piri Reis.
Ah, we've heard
For
that
example,
name.
this map depicts the ice-free perimeters of the Antarctic. As you know, that continent was first officially discovered in 1820, more than 300 years later. So how could Piri Reis have known back then how the Antarctic continent looked without ice? The admiral, who had a talent for languages, made handwritten notes on the map. According to these notes, he used sources from many thousands of years ago when creating the map. He came across these sources during a trip through the Far East. Unfortunately, only a small fragment of the map still exists today.
And the Nazis have got it.
What?
Yep.
When you said the Admiral's name, so-and-so Reese, I've heard that name.
Piri Reese.
The German expedition leader, the Countess. She was talking about a map in a Berlin museum, and she mentioned that name. Piri Reese.
My word. Sensational.
It's a chance at any rate. If we can get to the map before the Nazis do...
You want to go to Berlin?
Yep.
We don't have a choice. It's the only way we can get at the map.
Quite apart from getting into the country at all, the map itself certainly won't be laid out in a display case. How do you expect this to work?
The Olympic Games are on. We just need to look like tourists.
Simple. No
Besides,
problem.
it's a lot more fun if you just worry about these things later. Let's get the eye and get out of here.
Details,
If you say so.
details.
Lacoste must be finished by now. Let's go.
Finally, the Eye of the Dragon.
Please wait a moment. The Eye of the Dragon is hidden in the back room.
He's gonna go back there, take the Eye of the Dragon, and make a run for it. I'm just warning you. Don't say I didn't warn you. We ought to pilfer something.
Here it is. See? Perfect condition. Just like the day we found it.
Yay!
No time to lose. Let's get the next train to Casablanca. Then get on a ship to Spain or Portugal. The further from the Nazis, the better.
It sounds as if you're no stranger to running from problems, young man. You remind me of myself a few dozen years ago.
Professor, get down!
Oh no! Oh no, Professor, you didn't get down! I love it. Fenton just runs. Doesn't protect the guy or anything. Okay. Enter more bad guys.
Leave him. We have the eye.
Stupid bad guys. Very obvious
Professor.
bad guys. Oh, poor Professor.
They've taken it.
Don't get up. I'll get help.
Don't be a fool. You must follow them before they escape.
You need a doctor.
No! Listen carefully. If you are found on the crime scene, you will be arrested. You cannot help me anymore, my boy. But help yourself and the others recover the Eye of the Dragon. Now it's up to you. You alone to prevent the Nazis reaching Shambhala.
Oh, I liked Professor Hayes. Oh, we're back here again. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong.
Excuse me, sir. A telegram just arrived for you.
Thank you, Huxley.
Thank you, Huxley.
Anything else?
No, sir. I just wondered...
I don't need anything else at the moment. You may go.
Beat it, Huxley. Shoo.
German ambush in monastery. Stop. Richard's still there. Stop. Paddock to the rescue. Stop. Now in India. Stop. Send reinforcements. Stop. Waiting at Camp Hadley in Rangpur, North India. Stop. Signed Lieutenant Thomas Finch. Stop.
So Lieutenant Thomas made it out and got to help. Wonderful. Burning the... Chapter 4, Into the Lion's Den. Replete with bad guy music. Yay, a train! We're heading from Marrakesh to Casablanca on train. Oh, I love trains. And then on a steamer, I don't know where he got the money for it. We could barely get together 25 francs. Anyway, we're heading to France. We won't worry about things like money. And we're coming into Bremerhaven and heading across, I should say, countryside to Berlin. 5 kilometers. Straight into enemy territory. And there goes Fenton on his motorcycle. Awesome. Straight into enemy territory.
The Countess and her cronies disappeared into that building. That must be where she plans to examine the map. What a coincidence. That's my plan as well.
Oh, I see. He found the Countess and then just followed her. And the Olympic Games are going on. That's cool. All right, so I'm guessing we can't just waltz in.
Posters and flyers plastered on several layers deep. This camera ad's coming loose. I've pulled it down.
That gives us a
camera ad.
camera ad, a poster. For what reason, I couldn't possibly tell you.
The Nazis disappeared into this museum.
Okay. Olympisch Spiel. I think Spiel might mean games. So the 11th Olympic Games. Okay, well, we have no other choice but to just waltz on. Oh, well, we can go to the city. But I don't see why we'd need to do that yet. Let's see what happens if we try them.
I should check the museum
Yeah.
before I look around town.
That's what I thought.
Red ropes over the entrance. Not a good start.
Can I help you?
Yes, if you could just tell me how to get into the museum.
Sorry, the exhibit's closed earlier than usual today.
And why would that be?
Why is the museum closed today? I've traveled a long way just to see the exhibits.
Well, during the Olympic Games, sometimes the regular schedule gets a little out of whack, you know? There's a reception for today's gold medalists in the upper exhibition halls later tonight, which is going to mean unpaid overtime for me, of course. Anyway, that's why we closed early.
How very frustrating.
Not much of a sports fan?
I'm mainly here for the museum, but the games have certainly proved a happy coincidence.
Well, I'm hoping I'll get to see some of my idols in the flesh tonight, depending on who takes the gold medals.
Lots to talk about with this gentleman. So let's start from top and move our way down. What exhibits are currently running?
What do they actually exhibit here?
The main exhibit is on Tibet. You see that animal by the door? It's some sort of enormous mountain sheep that lives in the Himalayas, but I've forgotten the name. Begins with a P or an M.
It's an argali.
An argali.
Are you sure?
Yes, we're
Pretty
very
sure.
sure.
In any case, there are all kinds of rare Tibetan artifacts on display in the upper halls. Do you think you could give me a hand and set this carton down for me? Thanks.
You keep talking about the upper halls. Are there others?
Well, yes, the lower halls.
Stands
But
to
they've
reason.
been closed to visitors for over a year.
Why's that?
I couldn't tell you.
And is there a reason you couldn't tell me?
Easy. I don't know. I'm not sure I want to either.
Well, now you've gone and got my attention.
Curiosity can be very bad for your health, you know. All I know is that for some time no one has been allowed into the basement of the museum, and the lower exhibition halls were closed to prevent any visitors from accidentally wandering down there. Can we leave it now?
Sure.
Okay. Let's continue to grill this guy and find out what events are on today.
Which events are happening tonight?
For my money, the decathlon has got to be the highlight, but there's also rowing and horseback riding. Hold on, I have an event schedule in my newspaper. I don't need it anymore, you can have it.
Why,
Oh,
thank you kindly.
Thanks very much.
And would it be possible for me to attend the reception this evening? I've got a black tie.
You know that reception tonight? How exactly do I get into it?
Oh, just go out and get yourself a gold medal. No problem.
Oh, I can do that.
No, seriously. Aside from the medal winners and their trainers, you basically need to be a German politician. People like us are out in the cold, I'm afraid.
We'll see about that.
Not much I can do then, I suppose.
I guess I'll ask this just to see it. The answer will be no, but I'm just curious if he'll give us any more
I
information.
wonder if I can find another way to get into tonight's reception.
As I said, only gold medal winners, their trainers, and a handful of special guests are permitted in the museum tonight. Believe me.
All right then.
Oh, don't you worry. We're going to that party.
Would you mind if I took a look around your very exciting foyer for a while?
No problem. As long as you don't get in the way.
Promise.
Okay, let's go. Devil sheep. I was going to say, the first thing we're going to do, of course, is head on over and kick the sheep. The stuffed sheep.
So, we meet again, Argali. Are you taunting me? Is that it? Following me around and popping up at my lowest moments? Bad, Argali. Bad. I don't remember the last one having such a luxurious beard.
Don't tell me we're going to take his beard. Don't tell me. Please
I tried
don't.
to grow a beard like that when Kim and I were friendly. She got me drunk one night and shaved it off.
Probably wise. Okay. It says that we can take these, and this is an adventure game, so you basically take everything that isn't nailed down or tied to a sheep.
The whiskers are stuck on tight. I could take them with me, but it'll most likely mean lugging around a whole stuffed Argali for the rest of the day.
Okay, alright. I was really hoping we could lug around a stuffed Argali. For those of you just coming into this Let's Play, what Fenton, our hero, is referring to is an incident in Tibet in the snowy mountains, which shall remain between him, us, and a very, very happy Argali. There's a loud noise. So, what that is, maybe that's traffic outside. I mean in the game, not outside my home.
The only interesting things about this door are its large, round handles. And even they're struggling to get my heart racing.
Ah, Fenton.
The box office is closed.
It is closed. All right. Exit. Yay! We get to dig in the rubbish. My
A
favorite.
rubbish bin.
Yeah, get over here. Dig in that bad boy.
Let's see if I can find anything useful. Oh, the lid came off. I'll just pocket that, I think. Jackpot. There's all sorts of valuable rubbish in here.
Did we really just steal a trash can lid? Really? Yes, we did. Okay, it is adding certain things to our a broken bottleneck, dried bouquet, a lid, info sheet, and a poster are now in our inventory. Let's try and use this broken bottleneck to shave off this Argali whiskers as a trophy.
This guy owes me a favor. The least he can do is spare me some whiskers.
I have a feeling this might be part of our disguise later. Okay. Argali whiskers are now in our... Let's see what this dried bouquet might have to do with.
A dried bouquet of flowers wrapped with florist wire. I'll unwrap the wire.
Okay. We now have a florist wire, dried flowers.
Dried flowers.
Dried flowers.
A piece of florist wire. Strong, flexible, just like me.
Oh.
Argali whiskers.
I'm just gonna move on from that.
A broken bottleneck. Hardly the gentleman's choice of armament.
But that's never been an issue before.
Fenton, you are many things, but a gentleman is not one of them.
A rusty rubbish bin lid.
Yay!
Let's see which contests are scheduled for today. The final event in the decathlon is happening shortly. In the run-up to the long jump, the man in the lead is... No, this can't be right. Glenn Parker of the United Kingdom? There's even a photo. No doubt about it. That's the same Glenn Parker who went to Sandhurst with Richard and me. Even back then, he was a top-class athlete. Fantastic! This is my chance to get into the museum reception. I'll just ask Glenn to smuggle me in. Maybe he can pass me off as his trainer. I should head straight to the stadium. He must be getting warmed up.
And
A camera ad.
a camera ad. Let's head on to the exit to the city. And we now have this neat map. Cool. It's difficult. The map is kind of cut off here at the top, so I don't know what it says, but it says something von Berlin, I think. Probably the German word for map. I'm clever. Okay, so we have, what do we have on our map? We have Olympia Stadium. We have the museum where we just were. Those are the only two things currently unlocked. And I invite you, once again, if you are watching this and you happen to have been to Berlin, or even better, you live in Berlin, I'd like to know how accurate this map is. It'd be really cool if somebody were like, I live right here, my house is like right here. And I'd be like, wow, that is so cool. Like it says over here, there's another place that says Zitadelle Spandau. I have to say the maps are some of my favorite parts about this game, and I really do enjoy this game. And I hope that you are enjoying it too. I'm going to take us back now to the main menu so that I can say to you, thank you so much for watching and for joining me as we play through Lost Horizon. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below. And if you loved what you saw, join the party and subscribe. This is a very enjoyable game. I do enjoy ribbing on Fenton, but that's just half the fun. In the next episode, we're going to go to the Olympics. We're going to the 11th Olympics. So I hope you'll join me then. But until then, as I've said before, and I'll say many times again, thanks so much for watching. Get every new Jessa Channel video right in your email inbox. Subscribe, then from your YouTube homepage, click Manage Subscriptions, then check Email with new uploads. And thanks for watching.